Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for Greater Vancouver for the month of June. And I got some very good news for you today. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to show you months of inventory by different property types. So there's detached, condo apartments, that sort of thing. And then the last slide, I'm also going to share with you the first quarter of last year to the first quarter of this year, second quarter of last year to this year, and we'll also look at the first half. So let's have a look at what's going on. You can see here in the month of January, we started out 1,571 sales. Then, of course, as it normally does, went up to 2,150. Went up again in March. Well, what happened in March? Middle of March, COVID-19. We got to 25, 24, and then we went down to 1,109 because nobody really knew what was going on. Buyers weren't looking, sellers weren't selling. But then May we recovered a little bit, went up to 1,485. But look what happened in June, up to 2,443. Our sales are up by 64.5%. What a beautiful number. Things are starting to recover very nicely. What about active listings? Look here, we had 9,927 active listings at the end of May. At the end of June, we had 11,424. Now what's interesting is our active listings are up by 15%, but our sales are up by 64%. What would happen to months of inventory? It would dive. It's down by 30%. Big number. So if we look at months of inventory, right now we're sitting at 4.7. Keep in mind, 4 to 6 balanced, above 6 is buyers, below 4 is going to be a seller's market. So we're sitting in a balanced market depending on property type, okay? But if we look, we start at 5.5, 4.3, this was the lowest, or I should say this was the lowest, 3.8 right here. And then of course, April it spiked, and then it came down a bit, and look, we're back down to 4.7, a very good place. Prices, you know, the benchmark remained pretty well the same year over year. But let's look at this. If we look at June of last year, we did 2,077 sales. But look at June of this year, we did 2,443, up by 17%. So all good numbers. What about benchmark price? Well, you can see it was about $1 million in June of last year, and we're just over $1 million June of this year. So you can see good things are starting to happen with the marketplace. And this here is your months of inventory. So you can see it went up, spiked, but it's come back down. Now, other than here, 2017, this is a green line right here, we're lower, okay, than we've been any month in June except 2017. So we're better shape than we were 18 and better shape than we were 19. So the market's looking very, very strong. Now, as I give you these numbers, I want to suggest to you there's 3 numbers you need to be watching all of the time. Number 1, you want a number of sales that are taking place. In other words, is your sales pie getting larger or is your sales pie getting smaller? The second thing you always want to be watching is you want to be watching what's going on with your benchmark price, or in some markets, your average price. We always want to know, is our prices going up or our prices going down? But the third thing that you really need to watch is your months of inventory, because your months of inventory gives you some idea what direction your prices are going and what direction your market's going. So you can see here, you're sitting very comfortably in a balanced market. However, what you might find is, depending on property type, they could be different, because see, detached, we have 5 months of inventory. Townhouses, we have 4, and apartments, we have 4.7. So keep in mind that a geographical area could have different months of inventory. Different property type could have different months of inventory, which is going to indicate to you which way your prices are starting to move in the coming months. So let's look at this. This is the first quarter of last year compared to the first quarter of this year, and this is the second quarter here. Well, you can see last year we did 4,314 sales in the first quarter, and then this year we killed it. We did 6,245. Look, we're up by 45%. So the year started out incredibly well. Of course, middle of March, COVID hits, what happens? 6,544 last year, we went down to just over 5,000. So we were down by 23%. But overall, if you look at these numbers, last year we did 10,858 sales in the first half. We did 11,282 in the half of this year. Look, we're up by roughly 4%. So what's happening is the market in Greater Vancouver has recovered very, very nicely. as we sort of expected. So then the question is, what's going to happen in July and August? Well, I would suspect that what you're going to see is July and August are going to be busier than July and August of last year. I think there's great opportunity to be working hard this summer and taking advantage, because I think you're going to see lots of buyers out there trying to take advantage, and I'm not convinced you're going to see as many sellers come to the market over the summer. We might see them come in the fall. Your inventory might start to go up in the fall, which means your prices are going to remain fairly strong this summer, I would suggest. And I would say that if you're a real estate sales professional, make some hay right now while the sun is shining. I hope this was helpful, and remember everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.